Hello guys, so in today's video I want us to have a look at how we can configure IPsec, that is IPsec site-to-site tunneling. So from the diagram that you can see we have here, you can see we have two sites. We have MikroTik 1 and we have the second MikroTik over here. I'm going to do this through GNS. I'm also going to leave a link below on how you can install GNS so that you can also be able to emulate the same thing and do it on your own. So you can also see that I have one PC connected to my first MikroTik, and you can also see that I have the second PC which is also connected to the second MikroTik. So IPsec is really important in situations where you want communication, to establish communications between two sites, and when you are doing this over the internet, you actually need to be doing it in a very safe way, and IPsec is actually one of the safest ways that you can be able to achieve that. So let us jump right in. Let us log into the first MikroTik. I'm actually going to have them side by side because the configuration that we are going to do on one MikroTik is the same configuration that we are going to do to the second MikroTik. So as it is, first of all, let us these MikroTik routers actually are in their default state. Actually they've been reset, so they have no configuration at all. So let's start by first of all doing DHCP client for both of them. This is going to ether 2, okay, and for the second one this will go to ether 1. Actually it's there. We are going to close that. Then after that we are going to establish our first PC is connected to ether 3 and our second PC is connected to ether 2 over here. So let us just name the interfaces first. So interface, this ether 2, this is our 1. Okay, and ether 3, this is our LAN. Okay, let's do the same for the second MikroTik. Interface, our 1 is on ether 1. Okay, and our PC is actually connected to ether 2, so this is our LAN. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let us now give the LAN an IP. So we are going to go to IP addresses, add, so let's say 172 dot let's say 10.20.1/24. Yeah, this goes to ether 3. Apply. Okay, we do the same for the second MikroTik. Address, this goes to ether 2, and for this let's give it 10.10.10.1/24. Apply. Okay, so let's just have this down here because we are going to refer back to them at some point. Then the next thing, let us create a DHCP server for both of them. DHCP server, DHCP setup, this is going to our LAN. Next, looks okay. Maybe let's add this here. next. That's okay. We close that. We do the next router. DHCP setup. This is going to the LAN. Next. Let's add that. Next. It's successful. So let's test if we have internet on both of them. So admin, my password, ping. Yeah, it's going through. Let's do the same for this. Ping, it's going through. So let's get this out of the way. So the next thing that I want us to do is I want us to go to the PCs and see if they've been make sure that they've been assigned an IP from our DHCP server. So we are going to the web console of PC1. And let's just say DHCP so that it can obtain an IP. So you can see it has already been given an IP 172.10.20.253 and the gateway is 172.10.20.1. Let's see if it has internet connection. Ping 8.8.8. So you can see it has failed. So there's one thing that we haven't done to our MikroTik router, and that is NATing. So let's go back so that we can be able to do the NATing. So we are going to do IP firewall NAT, and our interface, out interface, is going to be the one, and the action is masquerade. Apply. Okay, let's do the same thing for the second router. IP firewall, add. The out interface here should be our one, and the action should be masquerade. Apply. Okay, let's close those. Let's go back to our PC1 and run the same command again. Yeah, so you can see PC1 has internet. Let's also try and do the same for PC2 and just confirm that there's internet connectivity for PC2 as well. So first of all, we do DHCP so that it can acquire DHCP IP. So DHCP. No, I've logged into the wrong. I'm supposed to do it on this, not the MikroTik. So web console PC2. So we do DHCP, let it obtain an IP. Yeah, you can see it has obtained an IP of 10.10.10.253 and the gateway is 10.10.10.1. Let's ping internet, and yeah, we are able to get through the internet through PC2 as well. So let's see if PC2 is able to communicate to PC1. Let's see if we can get to the gateway of PC1, and you remember the gateway for PC1 is let's just check the gateway for PC1. It's here. It's 172.10.20.1. So let's see if we can get to that IP from PC2. So ping 172.10.20.1, and we cannot be able to get to that. So at the end of it, at the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to see that we'll now have a positive ping, a positive return ping from this IP. So now let's get into the IPsec configuration. So let's bring up both MikroTik routers here. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go to the interface, and there are several there are different ways of doing this. Sorry, you come to interface, the drop down, then you click on IP tunnel. That is one. You can also come to IP tunnel, and when you come to IP tunnel, you just click on add, and you'll be able to do the same thing. So let's just change his name. So the name is IP tunnel, or you can give it a name which definitely you remember. And then our local address should now be our WAN address, which is this. So let's just copy this. And then our remote address, for our remote address now, the remote address should be the WAN address of the second MikroTik router, which is 122.29. So that is the remote address, that is 192.168.122.29. And then we are going to have an IPsec secret, and this is where you probably really need a good secret or a good password for it, but for demonstration purposes of this video, I'm just going to use 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then make sure you uncheck this allow fast path. Make sure you uncheck that. After that, you click on apply. Okay, and when you come to IP and click on IPsec, you should be able to see it there. So let's just close that for now. Let's do the same thing for the second router. We come to interface, add interface, and this is we go to IP tunnel. Let's rename this. So our local address is our WAN address. So this is going to be 192.168.122.29, and our remote address is now going to be the WAN address of router 1 of our first router. So this is going to be 192.168.122.218. The secret you have to make sure that matches the secret that you had input for our first router. So this is going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 as well. And check allow fast path, and that's all. Apply, and then you click OK. So our tunnel has been set for router 2, and our tunnel has also been set for our second router. The thing that you should now do is give an IP to the tunnel that we've created. So you come to IP addresses, or here it is. Then we add an IP, let's say 172.100.1/24, and we are going to assign these to our IP tunnel. Apply. Okay, let's do the same for the second router. You come to IP, let's give it 10.10, dot let's say 200.1/24, and we are going to peg this on our IP tunnel. Apply. Okay, let's close this. So the next thing that we want to do is we now want to create a routing table that will allow which the IPsec will now use. So we come to IP routes, and let's add one route here. So our destination our destination address should be the LAN address of the second MikroTik. So this is going to be 10.10.10.0/24, and the gateway here we are going to pick IP tunnel. Apply that. You can see the status is reachable. Then okay, we do the same for the second router, IP routes. Then you will say add, and the destination address is also going to be the block for the LAN IP of router 1. So this is going to be 172.10.20.0/24, and our gateway right here we are going to pick our IP tunnel. Apply that. Okay, so let's close those, and now let's see if our PCs are able to communicate to each other. So let's go to the same PC2 that we were on, and let's run the same ping and see if we get a response from it. So you can see PC2 is now able to ping the gateway for PC1. If we go to PC1, we also try to ping the gateway for PC2. We can do ping 10.10.10.1, and you can see we also have a response from the gateway of PC2. So guys, that is how you are able to do IPsec site-to-site tunneling, and it's a very useful piece of configuration that you really need to make sure that two sites are able to communicate to each other and in a very safe and secure manner. So that's it for today guys. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next video. Thank you and bye bye.